What if Germany just slammed the brakes on America's hottest cars, right in their tracks?
Now, there's more bad news for German car makers, with heavyweights Volkswagen and Mercedes-Benz posting year-on-year declines.
In 2025, U.S. car giants like Ford, Tesla, and GM face a chilling freeze at German ports, blocking over $1.6 billion worth of vehicles due to new Euro 7 emissions rules. This isn't just about regulations, it's a high-stakes showdown mixing trade, politics, and green policies. How will this hit American jobs, dealerships, and your favorite rides? Stay with us as we break down the full story behind this unexpected freeze and what it means for you. And hey, don't forget to subscribe for all the latest updates. In early 2025, Germany's Federal Motor Transport Authority halted imports of several U.S. manufactured vehicles, citing compliance issues. This unexpected move impacted major American automakers, including Ford, General Motors, and Tesla. Vehicles arriving at key ports like Hamburg and Bremerhaven were held due to missing emissions documentation and failure to meet Euro 7 standards, part of the EU's strict green transition goals. As reported by Die Welt in February 2025, the freeze specifically targets the Mustang Mach-E from Ford's US and Mexican plants, Tesla's Model S and X built in Fremont, California, as well as Cadillac and Corvette exports from GM. Germany says this isn't retaliation, but a step toward environmental accountability, while industry experts believe it's a strategic response to recent U.S. EV subsidy policies. The ongoing freeze on U.S. car imports to Germany has deeply impacted a key transatlantic trade route. As per U.S. Census Bureau data, January through April 2025, the U.S. shipped over $1.6 billion worth of passenger vehicles to Germany within 4 months. That places Germany as the third largest European buyer of U.S. cars, trailing only the UK and Belgium. More than 40,000 vehicles were planned for export between March and June 2025. However, a May 2025. Reuters logistics report reveals a 12% decrease in inbound U.S. auto cargo at German ports versus Q1 2024. This sharp drop signals more than a regulatory snag. It reflects rising tension in global trade and poses challenges for U.S. automakers navigating Europe's tightening environmental standards. In 2018, Donald Trump strongly criticized Germany's trade surplus, highlighting the dominance of BMW and Mercedes-Benz on U.S. streets. "Germany is killing us on trade. Look at the cars. You see them all over Fifth Avenue," he declared. Trump threatened a 25% tariff on German car imports, a move that shook European leaders but was never executed. By 2020, his administration secured trade deals aimed at boosting U.S. vehicle exports. However, by 2023, many of those terms had lost momentum. Now, in 2025, Germany has answered back, not with tariffs, but through strict green compliance blocks and Euro 7 emission standards, halting U.S. shipments. This strategic use of environmental regulation marks a new front in trade friction, echoing Trump's earlier warnings, but with a modern twist. Germany's official stance centers on environmental compliance. In January 2025, the European Union finalized the Euro 7 emission standards, introducing stricter limits on NOx, nitrogen oxide, real-world CO2 driving tests, and requirements for electric vehicle readiness. U.S.-made cars lacking proper emissions documentation are now being blocked as Germany enforces these new rules. However, many analysts believe this goes beyond environmental concerns. According to Frankfurter Allgemeine Zeitung, the freeze followed Germany's strong objections to the 2022 U.S. Inflation Reduction Act, which favors North American-made electric vehicles, effectively excluding German imports. This raises questions. Is Germany's move a form of retaliation, a policy checkmate, or a mix of both? The situation reveals how trade conflicts now intertwine deeply with climate policy and geopolitics. American car makers are feeling the freeze deeply. Ford's electric Mustang Mach-E exports from Cuautitlán, Mexico and Flat Rock, Michigan have been delayed, prompting dealers in Munich and Berlin to pause orders due to uncertainty. Despite operating a Berlin gigafactory, Tesla continues to ship thousands of Model S and Model X vehicles from the US, many of which are now stuck at German ports or diverted to Scandinavia. After exiting Europe in 2017, General Motors returned in 2023 with Cadillac and Corvette exports, but premium deliveries, especially to southern Germany, are currently suspended. Dealerships throughout Germany report canceled pre-orders and escalating insurance and storage costs, underscoring the financial toll of this trade disruption on U.S. automakers. Enjoying this? Subscribe and hit the bell to stay informed. Donald Trump's trade war tactics were loud and direct, but Germany's response was quiet and precise. According to political analyst Andrew B. Rule from Brookings in March 2025, Trump underestimated the EU's ability to retaliate through bureaucracy rather than tariffs. While Trump expected Europe to react with threats or legal action, Germany took a patient approach by strengthening environmental rules before executing a calculated, targeted strike on U.S. car shipments. Trump later posted on Truth Social, "Germany is now punishing us for being strong. They hate our success." However, experts view this as a sophisticated regulatory chess match, where Germany used environmental policies as an effective weapon. This nuanced move has significantly reshaped U.S.-Germany relations, showing how modern trade conflicts depend more on strategic regulations than direct confrontation. The U.S. government is actively addressing the German freeze on American car shipments. On May 10, 2025, U.S. Trade Representative Catherine Tai confirmed ongoing bilateral talks with Germany and the EU Commission to resolve the issue. Meanwhile, the U.S. Commerce Department is considering several measures, including legal action through the World Trade Organization, retaliatory inspections on German-made vehicles, and temporary tariffs on European auto parts. With important elections approaching, the administration is proceeding cautiously to avoid escalating tensions. The Inflation Reduction Act, which supports U.S. electric vehicle manufacturers, has sparked backlash from European allies and added pressure from American automakers hurt by the German regulatory bloc. Navigating this trade conflict remains a delicate challenge for U.S. leaders in 2025. The freeze on U.S. car shipments is causing ripple effects beyond automakers. Factory workers in Michigan, Texas, and California face job uncertainties, while rail and port unions on the East Coast experience reduced activity. Major logistics companies like Maersk and DB Schenker are also affected. According to the American Automotive Policy Council, if the freeze continues past the second quarter of 2025, up to 4,200 jobs could be at risk. Meanwhile, in Germany, consumer confidence in U.S. electric vehicles is declining. This shift could drive buyers toward local brands such as Volkswagen, Audi, and BMW, further challenging U.S. automakers' foothold in the European market. The combined job losses and shrinking market share highlight the broader economic impact of this trade disruption. Three major developments are expected soon. In June 2025, EU-US trade talks will center on regulatory alignment and subsidy issues to reduce tensions. Meanwhile, several U.S. companies are preparing to file legal challenges with the WTO's dispute settlement body against Germany's trade restrictions. Additionally, there are unconfirmed reports of customs delays targeting German luxury vehicles in New Jersey and Georgia, hinting at potential U.S. retaliatory actions. In the end, this freeze on U.S. car shipments shows how trade, politics, and green rules can change everything overnight. Will American automakers find a way to bounce back? Or is this just the start of a bigger fight? How will this impact your next car purchase or job security? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and we want to hear from you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss the latest updates on this unfolding story. Your voice matters in this global battle. Stay tuned and stay informed.